Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Creators must be 18. Oh, I think I make it. Let's see. To go live, remember to create a safe viewing experience and follow community guidelines. Don't say anything that might be controversial. More likes attract more viewers. Keep it up. I have one like. Keep it up. Okay. Let's see what happens. By the way, I just it's over there. There it is. I guess I can put that back. Will it be shown on here? Yes, it will. Okay, boom. There we go. All right. Look at that. First comment got censored. Pro-Trump lives not liked by TikTok. That's the very first comment of the night, and it got censored. Wow. TikTok, you are just fantastic. You guys are amazing. You know that? Like every time I think that you're getting a little soft on censorship and you need to up your game. No, no, no. You just always surprise me with just how amazing you are at censoring. Ah, shit, I'm glitching already. What are the odds of that? All right, let's turn that off. Let's turn that back on. And boom. And boom. There we go. Oh, look at that. A bunch of stuff popped up. Oh, wow. See that? Had a whole bunch of people watching and nobody was coming through because, well, I'm supposed to talk about things that TikTok doesn't like. Luckily, on YouTube over here, you can't see it. I'm pointing to my humongous Mac. They don't censor me. China controls TikTok. No, it does not. Glam 2025. The Texas Project is now in control of all of the code and the servers. They've been moved to the Texas Project. Yeah, that's why we're getting censored. Because when you're spying on people, you're not censoring them. But when you're censoring them, well, you're censoring them. And the United States doesn't have to spy on us because they have access to all of our phones and computers and Facebook and all that. So instead, they're trying to censor the dialogue. Remember all the shit you used to see on TikTok back when it was owned by the Chinese? You'd see stuff going on in Paris and riots in Germany and all this crazy stuff. Now, none of that. Nope. Don't see any of it. You might get it once in a while, but not much. On YouTube, on the other hand, I'm getting a lot more of the sort of the dissenters overseas, and it's become very interesting. Yeah, they are going to pay soon. That's what I wanted to talk about. By the way, I'm thinking about changing my name to Hunter DeButts because apparently, according to ChatGPT, Hunter DeButts was given a pardon by the President of the United States. Yep, it's true. Not this president, but by Woodrow Wilson. As a matter of fact, the mainstream media saw that, ran with it, and quoted that what Biden did is not a big deal because lots of presidents pardon people that shouldn't be pardoned. For my comments being filtered, yes, well, I'm sure your comments are filtered. Everybody's comments are filtered on TikTok. That's just the way it is, man. It's actually closer to freedom. Wait, what? Then what? Wait, what? To free speech than most, and still watered down. Well, I don't know where you got that, brother, because I never get demonetized or censored on YouTube. And when I get done here dancing around the truth, I shut off this live stream. And then sometimes I just go straight on to YouTube and tell everybody the rest of the story. So these are really strong, but they're not working for me. Let's see. Biden pardon is not over yet. I sure hope it is. I really hope it is, because if he does what I think he might do, man, what happened to the CEO of United Healthcare will not become a one-off because people are pissed. Everybody's tired of it. When I heard about the CEO of United Healthcare, I thought, wow, it took a lot longer than I thought it would take. Word that silver might bounce up tomorrow. Any insight? Nah, I don't do 24-hour time frames. I'm more of a macro guy when it comes to silver. The economy is in a shitstorm right now. We'll get out of it. Yes, I thought under the Democrats we were screwed. Under Trump we will probably be out of it in 2 years minimum, 5 years maximum. But we will have inflation, no question about it. So, if you're going to buy silver, buy silver. There's a legal loophole that Joe's attorneys missed. I heard about that. I will bet you $1 million he pardons Pelosi. He doesn't have to pardon Barack Obama, I don't think. The list goes on. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Why is Bitcoin so resilient? Because Trump just announced that he may make it part of our national reserve for our treasury. And if he does, then you can expect it to be at 400,000 very, very, very soon. If it breaks 110, I say it's going to 400. Could it go to 1 million? Absolutely. No question. He gave $1 billion to Africa today. Of course he did. It's not his money. I'm guessing a collapse under Trump. Then that's just a pure guess based on zero information, because that's not going to happen. Yeah, can't do away with 36 trillion. No, yeah, you can't do away with it. But anybody who thinks it's going to be worse under Trump doesn't study the economy like I have for now about 35 years. So, afraid his son would talk. Yes, that's exactly why he pardoned him. Unfortunately, he pardoned him so now his son can talk without fear of retribution. Who's going to collect 36 trillion? That's the question. You don't collect 36 trillion. Doesn't matter. Debt doesn't matter. Income matters. Housing market. It sucks, and it's getting worse by the second. Trump added $7 billion to the deficit. Trump hasn't done shit yet. He's not even president. And that got censored, by the way. No, I'm all about Trump. That got censored too. Where are interest rates going? Up. You lost. I have a master's degree and I am a millionaire. And you're still an idiot. Let's see. You wrote that 3 times. Wow. Okay. Well, that means that it's probably not true. Let's see. You've got 100 followers. Oh my goodness. Aren't you a master class in self-awareness? Let's see. His first administration was under COVID, when they were giving out stimmies because Tony Fauci lied and said we had to be locked down. Okay. Don't think that counts. Can you explain Trump's tariffs? Yeah, as soon as all this slows down. Read my name, Aaron Burr. Okay, so you got shot by Alexander Hamilton on the bluff across the river from New York City. Yeah, I know. Should I buy a new car? No, wait 1 year. The car market is collapsing, completely collapsing right now. Let it start to really settle. Let these assholes who thought they could charge $150,000 for a pickup truck, let them take it in the shorts hard. Then go buy that pickup truck for $25,000 off invoice. That's what's about to happen. There are Dodges and Fords and Chevys sitting on lots from 2022, brand new. And the 2025s just came out. Fuck those guys. They tried to get us because they knew we had stimmies, and they got people to sign contracts that they never should have signed with probably all kinds of bullshit promises. And now their economy, their industry is collapsing. And I say, bravo, you sons of bitches. By the way, Toyota, they're doing great. And where Toyota's built? The United States. So 7-year contract. Okay, don't know what. Oh, for financing. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. No money going to North Carolina, of course, Appalachia or Maui. Well, we're trying to send $24 billion to Ukraine. Well, they need it more than North Carolina. I mean, hell, right? Those guys live in the United States. They're rich. What education do you have? That's funny. Well, I can tell you this. Not only was I a licensed stockbroker, certified financial planner with a Series 63 and a Series 7, licensed by the SEC, but on top of that, I'm also a licensed real estate agent. And yes, I know what I'm talking about. Biden Hunter. I don't know what that meant. Let's see. Just money laundering to the boys at Lockheed Martin. Oh, and Raytheon and a bunch of others. Let's see. We can't save starving and freezing Americans, but we can help out Africa. Yes, as a matter of fact, we can. We can help out Africa because we love Africa. Let's see here. Boom, and there we go. Wait a minute. There. Hold on. Trying to use big. Jeez. Trying to use big fingers on a tiny phone. Okay, there we go. Martin Grant liked your live. Well, I hope you did, Martin Grant, whoever you are, you little imposter, you son of a bitch. Don't call people and ask them for money. That's all I ask. There are a lot of Martin Grants and a lot of big and corn feds on this TikTok thing. So just don't try and screw anybody, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. D from Detroit. Hello, D from Detroit. Plus, you can think of yourself and discern fact from fiction. Well, I try to think for myself. Yeah. Let's see. How can Biden pardon people with those being charged? Without being charged. Well, that's the point is he can pardon them for whatever crimes they may have committed. That's how a pardon works. So, unfortunately, they don't have to be charged yet that I'm aware of. Glad you're back. Semper Fi, buddy. Magic wand. Yeah, well, it is. A pardon is kind of a magic wand. You just wave it and poof, all your problems go away. Except for Hunter Biden. Obviously, his problems have gone away in the sense that he can't be prosecuted now. However, that also means that since he can't be prosecuted, he can talk about all of the other things that he did that were illegal and who else was involved. Huh. Isn't that interesting? So they may be able to put enough pressure on him to get him to tell the truth, which is all I care about. I don't care if the guy goes to prison. What I want to know is who else profited. I know he did. He's a scumbag. He's a nothing. He doesn't matter. What I want to know is who are the players that made money by committing treason? He's going to write a book. Well, as long as he tells the whole story in the book, I think that would be fantastic. He loses the Fifth Amendment. Exactly. He doesn't need the Fifth Amendment anymore. Let's see. Can't we as Americans stop a giveaway of tax dollars? Yes. That's why we voted for Trump. What do you think about crypto? XRP has done very, very well in the last few weeks. I would say I like XRP. I like Bitcoin. I think that they're going to do very, very well over the next few years because they are a currency. I mean, at least Bitcoin is a currency. So Joe Biden can be charged. Well, I don't believe. Well, there was something about this, about Trump pardoning himself the last day, which he didn't do, but I think they said he could. So Joe Biden can pardon himself. Carmel will handle the Biden. Yeah, I mean, look, when you talk about things like the corruption that's in Washington, people break down into tribes. It's the Democrats or the Republicans. But when you talk about corruption, I'll give you an example. United Healthcare, the CEO was gunned down. The shells literally said, deny, defend, and depose on them. Clearly, this is somebody who has lost somebody very close to them because of the greed of the healthcare system, and specifically United Healthcare. Democrats and Republicans are completely and utterly in agreement on this. And they go, wow, he was gunned down in the middle of the sidewalk in, middle of the day, or 6:45 in the morning. Gee, that's too bad. Well, there's something we can all agree on. Let's see. Well, the reality is this. Republicans are not in agreement on health care. They're not. I know lots of Republicans, and I've gone onto all of the comments on all of the YouTube videos, and they are all in agreement. They literally 99.99% of them. I only read one, and it said, no matter who this guy is, murdering somebody is unacceptable. However, and then they went on to explain how this guy's probably, helped deny thousands of people's claims that were totally legitimate, and then they died. And United Healthcare doesn't give a fuck because they only answer to their stockholders. They don't care about human beings unless you're a stockholder. If you're a shareholder, you're a human being. Otherwise, you're just wretched refuse. You're just, you're just fodder for the cannons. That's all. Free healthcare. That's going to be very difficult. How about just good healthcare? That would be enough. I'd be happy with just good healthcare. Long live the adjuster. And there you go. They need to tighten the reins of insurance companies. They have a 32% denial rate. I'm sure it's a lot higher than that now. That's got to be an old number because their AI system, which they're under investigation by the DOJ for right now, their AI system is faulty and denies 90% of all claims. 90% of all claims are denied by their AI automatically. Saw a woman whose husband went to the hospital, went to the emergency room, having a heart attack, and United Healthcare denied his claim as not an emergency. If a heart attack for a middle-aged man is not an emergency, well, what the fuck is? How about med beds? Look, been a type 1 diabetic since the age of 8. Getting insurance is a joke, right? MAGA states are passing laws who can, let's go back. Access on who can access healthcare. That's really not exactly true now, is it? Come on, owls. You're being very selective about the words you use. I get it. You're a wordsmith. That's very clever. No, what they're saying is if you want to chop your dick off, then that's okay, but you can't claim that it's a necessity and get healthcare because of it. If you want to take estrogen and try to grow boobs, that's okay, but that's not a medical necessity. Is that the same as denying healthcare for everybody, or are you just a big fat liar? I don't know. You figure it out. Because here's the thing. It's already bad enough. I don't want it to get worse, and they're going to make it worse. Absolutely true. I live in one of those states. Let's see. How about the end of the Federal Reserve? I absolutely love that idea. I think it's absolutely fantastic. A bunch of rich elites like Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health, got together at Jekyll Island about over 100 years ago in secret. They rode a train that had the windows covered so no one could see who they were. They spent the weekend down there, probably drinking and whoring, and then they all came up with this plan to come up with a central banking system in the United States, which was not necessary. And they did it under the guise of it's important. They used J.P. Morgan's credibility as the richest man in the world at the time to do it. And guess what? The American dollar's lost 98% of its value since that moment. We've had recession after recession. We've had depressions. All of this shit is created specifically by the Federal Reserve Bank. I think we need term limits on everyone in government. I like that idea. They'll find Hunter. 1913 is over. No, it's not. 1913 is not over. We're still suffering from it. It will go on ad infinitum until we get rid of the Federal Reserve. When the Federal Reserve is gone, we'll be fine. One down, a whole bunch more to go. That is the sentiment of lots of people about the CEO of United Healthcare. Now, let me ask you this, because when I found out, and I'm not going to read the comments for a second, so you guys can slow down on the comments. You go for it on the likes and the follows. I'm great with that. But here's the thing. I want to talk about this because this is something that stunned me. I was absolutely shocked by this. I've done hundreds of hours worth of research, not thousands, but hundreds. I've done thousands of hours worth of research on the JFK shooting. I've done hundreds of hours on DuPont, 3M, and Teflon. Teflon was developed as a coating for tanks during World War II so that shells would bounce off of them instead of exploding on impact, making the tanks obviously a lot tougher. It wasn't used for that purpose. However, they figured out that it was a very, very slippery non-stick surface, so they started putting it in cookware. They started putting it on. If you've ever had what's that shit called? The stuff that you spray on that's waterproofing for your clothes. Tons and tons of people have used it. Very, very popular in the 90s. Everybody's clothes were sprayed with it. What was it called? Oh shit, I can't remember the name of the Scotch Guard. Thank you very much. I knew you guys had come up with that. Regina, great name. That was my mom's name. Awesome name. So Regina is totally right. Scotch Guard. That's Teflon, by the way. They put Teflon on food wrappers at places like McDonald's so that the cheese doesn't stick, so that when you pick up your burger, nothing sticks to it. Yeah. So needless to say, we found out that Teflon, which is what's called a forever chemical, it's 8 carbon molecules bonded together. It can't be cleansed from your body. Once it's in your body, it's in your body forever. Your body has no way of getting rid of it. It also causes 9 very, very specific types of cancer. And on top of that, also causes horrible, horrible birth defects. I mean, hideous birth defects and miscarriages. Okay, so we know that. We know all of that shit. DuPont knew that in the 60s. That's been proven in a court of law. So from the 60s until the mid 2000s, when they were actually busted for it and fined a couple $1 billion. By the way, they made $60 billion on that product overall. $60 billion. They paid a fine that was like $2 or $3 billion. But on top of that, after they found out that the birth defects and cancers that were plaguing the women that worked in the DuPont factory, they pulled them off of the production line because they realized that this was going to lead to all kinds of massive problems for these women. One of their, oh, you son of a bitch. There we go. They realized that one of their attorneys said, you realize this is an admission of guilt. Like, you're saying that you know that this is a problem. That's why you pulled the women out. So if anybody goes back and looks at this in a court of law, they're going to see that you were aware of these issues. And the people at DuPont, the CEO and the CFO and the CIO and all those assholes, the whole C-suite said, you're absolutely right. So they put the women back on the fucking line at DuPont working on Teflon. And they continued to have seizures. They continued to have miscarriages. They continued to have horrid birth defects. They continued to get 9 different types of cancer, just like the men did. Their teeth continued to turn black at the age of 15 or 20. I mean, my point is, who among the hundreds of thousands, because as part of the legal settlement, literally hundreds of thousands of people in the Ohio River Valley were tested for exposure to Teflon, and they all tested positive. Every fucking one of them. Then they started testing around the world, and they found out that thus far, 99% of human beings on planet Earth have tested positive for Teflon in their system. Who was the CEO? And why didn't somebody do to him what they just did to Brian Thompson? Because he knew what he was doing. He's a big boy. He's a billionaire. And he did what he did because he doesn't care if you die. Well, when somebody proves that they don't care if other people die by their actions, typically, if it's just 1 or 2 people that die, we call those people murderers and we lock them up. But because corporations have this special place somewhere between Christ and God himself in the holy pantheon, we don't go after them. Oh, we take a little bit of their money. I mean, look at JP Morgan. And JP Morgan's paid what, the last time we checked on here was a month or so ago. They paid 278 criminal fines for a total of, what was it, $32 billion, kids? You guys remember? $32 billion just since 2000, just in the last 25 years. It doesn't slow them down. It doesn't stop them. So, giving back 1%, I mean, I've been to Temple. I know that one of the things that Jews practice is leave 10% of your vineyard for those less fortunate so they can come and they can harvest your grapes. That's literally written into a 4,000-year-old code to give back. So if I were the CEO of JP Morgan Chase and I were giving back 2% to the government for being able to absolutely decimate their laws, I'd be totally happy with that. Hell, that gives me 8% left to give to the most unfortunate among us. Now, that by the way, that's why I wondered when I saw what happened to Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. I thought, okay, well, this is clearly a premeditated act. Somebody who lost. I'm guessing they either lost their wife or their daughter or their son. They either lost a child or their loved one, not a parent. For some reason, whatever it is, kids, when they lose a parent, even if it's to malpractice, they just go, this really sucks. I hate these people, but they don't take any action. Somebody kills your wife through malice aforethought, which is what this is. That's a different story. Somebody does it to a child, your child. I can't imagine a world where you wouldn't do this. Yes, 3M. Let's see, Teflon. Oh boy, they censored you, buddy. Let's see. 3M had it first until they found out the damage. Right. Then DuPont took it over because they have no soul. Teflon was discovered working on refrigerants and experimenting with tetrafluoroethylene, TFE. Let's see. That should be a message to other CEOs. Well, it might need to be reinforced a few times, but yes, absolutely, they'll lost their way. United Healthcare doesn't pay the bills or approve life-saving medical. That's absolutely a fact. What do you think JP pays the churches to tell people what to think about the world? A lot. If it were my child, I would do that too. Absolutely. Who wouldn't? That's why I'm shocked that DuPont was allowed to murder so many tens of thousands of American citizens and nobody reacted this way. Teflon used today is generally safe. A specific chemical was removed, and it is still not safe. Owls, do your homework, because now they call it the actual chemical is called Gen X. I think it's a joke, but it's not a joke. They call it Gen X, and it's probably more dangerous than Teflon now. Let's see. After fruitcake gets caught, then should make people think also. I don't think he's a fruitcake. I think it's still murdering. Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. But this is that old eye for an eye thing. And I guarantee you, based on what was written on those shell casings, this guy lost somebody very, very close to him. And this is, in his opinion, retribution. What about the CEO that got killed in New York? Oh, everybody that literally everyone I've seen on any comments anywhere has been nothing but sarcastic and joking about his death. Like, I understand he's got sons. I understand he's got a wife. I don't care. You have to remember, I was in the Marine Corps, okay? Killing people is what Marines do for a living. That's what we get paid for. We get paid for killing. So when I see somebody who has killed thousands of people through neglect with malice aforethought, and he takes two in the back, well, maybe investor profits aren't as important as human beings' lives. Maybe your rich fucking stockholders aren't as important as grandma and grandpa, or somebody's daughter, or somebody's nephew or niece. This is called putting profits ahead of human lives. Let's see. So manly. That's very funny. El Camino, you are the street wacko. I get it. My any more to come? Yeah, well, I would say yes. I would say that this guy is going to become a bit of a folk hero. Um, let's see. JFK was killed with 2 children and a wife. It was thrown under the rug to protect others. That's absolutely true. Gates should watch his back. Well, that's the thing. He makes software. You speak the truth. Semper Fi, brother. What is Oreshnik? That is a weapon. That is something that the Russians have. The chemical PTFE is safe, and you are wrong. The chemical, you are wrong. Okay, good luck with that. I guarantee you, when you find out 10 years from now that what they substituted PFOAE for is just as toxic, you're going to go, damn, they said it was safe, though. They said it was safe. Who's they? They, the scientists, like Dr. Tony Fauci, the people who you can rely on. I mean, come on. These people are science. They are science. You're just a pleb. You don't know anything. So trust them when they say it's safe. Gates has lots of security. Damn right he does. A lot of security. Maybe stuff will come to light now. It takes a board to make decisions, not a CEO alone. Right, but the CEO can say no. He could say absolutely not. And then he can go to the stockholders directly and say, shareholders, this is what the board would like to do. This is what I would like to do. What I would like to do is not going to make you quite as much money, but it will save people's lives. And then let the people who want people to die stand up and say, no, I want to vote for death. See, that's called a moral compass, not something CEOs have. Do you know what the highest ratio of psychopaths on planet Earth is? CEOs. Number 2 is, of course, clergy, then politicians, then law enforcement. Let's see. He needs to be arrested. Yes, he needs to be arrested. But he also needs a very, very good attorney. If you don't burn, it is inert. I'm a chemist. Oh, if you don't burn it. Oh, so that one time you leave it on the stove for just a little bit too long, or you cook it at too high a temperature because you got an electric stove and you don't know if it's 650 or 450. And you come in and it smells a little funky, but you don't know what that smell. Yeah, whatever, dude. Look, cast iron, okay? Science is science, but we humans have little or no idea. No, the cosmos, yeah, that's a lot of guesswork right there, brother. Good wealthy should pay all of Trump's Secret Service. I think he can afford it now. What is the International Monetary Fund? Oh, INF? I don't know. IMF is the International Monetary Fund, and nobody canceled it. They make outrageous loans at impossible to pay back interest rates, and they do it so that they can take over countries under the guise of International Monetary Fund. I think P. Diddy thing is going to trickle down to politics. I hope so. I really do. Let's see. Griffin Forest. I like it. What's your source? I need to read it. What's my source? About what? I'm talking about 3 different things. Like I'm going 200 miles an hour here. Dr. Fauci, $3 million a year in security and not even a federal employee. It's not enough. Dr. Fauci, you better get more security or just go live somewhere else. That's okay too. He should not be arrested. No, he should be arrested and he should be tried. And then we should see what the American people think of this guy once we find out his story. Once we find out that when his first daughter died of some preventable illness because she was denied, it broke his heart. But then when his second daughter died, he lost his fucking mind. And this is what he did. And let's see who wants to put him in an electric chair after we find that out. Okay? That's what I want. Who's next? Blue Shield Healthcare, CEO. The list goes on and on. You're absolutely right. It's what it boils down to. Take it easy, Forrest. Let's see. CEO Psychopaths source. The Sociopath Next Door, written by the professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. She's also the dean of Harvard Medical School. Extremely, extremely bright woman. It's called The Sociopath Next Door. If I get on a hill, I can see the front gate of the plant that's doing this. Jesus. Heathen. The fact that you're alive shows what a tough bastard you are. But I definitely wouldn't drink your creek water. I think IMF is a bag boy for the Bank of International Settlements. Well, that is a very educated opinion. And yeah, I agree with you. Holy shit, most people don't even know who the International Bank of Settlements is. I think they should all be tried in military tribunals. Oh, that'd be nice. Will be pardoned before Trump. I fucking hope not. I hope not. That would be a miscarriage of justice. Look, I don't give a shit about Hunter Biden. He's just another low-level wannabe. I've known a lot of rich people, and I've known a lot of their children, and their children are all worthless pieces of crap. 99% of rich people's kids are just drug addicts and dipshits, period. The other 1% come out absolutely spectacular. There's no middle ground, it seems like. So, when I see Hunter Biden, drug addict, dumbass, trying to sort of, live on his daddy's coattails and his daddy's shadow, whatever. But this is a whole different deal. Tony Fauci has made a living off of giving bad advice and shitty medical opinions his whole life. And because he's a power-hungry little maniac, he's gotten away with it. Now it's time for him to answer. Most animal vets say not to cook with non-stick, close your eyes, close to your pet birds. Jeez, you like a canary? Like if you're cooking in a coal mine? Huh, who would have guessed that? Hey, I got 4 people on YouTube. Some bitch, I'm swinging. All right, let's see. Intermediate range, nuclear force. INF treaty. Okay. Trump negotiated treaty. Why they built Orishnik. Yeah, I know that basically he said that the treaty that we had was bullshit and he got out of it. So, what his intention is, I don't know. An anti-war guy, but I think basically anti-war with him means I need the biggest stick so I don't have to use it. That literally, it's not peace through violence. It's peace through the fear of violence, because some people don't understand love. Love is weakness and stupidity. It's naivete. It's whatever it is. They understand fear through violence. I know that's what Marines do for a living. So for the people who understand kindness, show them kindness. For the people who think that that's weakness, make sure that they understand that you're a fucking monster and you will absolutely destroy them and eat their liver raw if they don't help. Then be kind to them once they're terrified of you. It's the only way forward. That is it. Because everybody just wants to be super evolved and super sweet. And that's great if everybody's already evolved. But there are people on this planet that have not evolved to that point yet. All they understand is the way of the gun. So give them what they understand. Don't ask them to evolve faster than they're capable of doing it. I think Jared Kushner, I don't know that much about him. He seems like a decent negotiator. I don't like him personally because he was talking about beachfront property in Gaza. That's, look, bro, too soon. That's really not a good idea. What about Trump's kids? It looks like Barron might be a real sharp kid. And he might be that 1%. What do we know about his daughter? She's pretty. She's tall. She's pretty. Great. Okay. We know that she's fairly eloquent. So she's not stupid. She wasn't destroyed by drugs and alcohol like most rich kids. So I guess that alone puts her in the top 10%. But Barron does seem to have a sense of humor. He does seem to have an eloquence about the way he talks. I think he got lucky, man. He dodged the rich kid vibe. All right, I got to jump way ahead. Okay, here we go. But you knew so much about Hunter, just not Kushner. Yeah, why would I care about Kushner. He didn't do anything illegal. I mean, I know what he did do, but it was all public. So, what are you asking me? Like, what do you want me to tell you about Jared Kushner? I know exactly who Charles Kushner is. He's a dirtbag, and I don't like him. I know exactly who he is. Don't fall fair from the tree. They don't fall. Oh, don't fall far from the tree. We don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't drink much, and I've spanked one of my kids out of five one time. No, two of them once each. And when I say spanked, that means I smacked them on the butt once. My dad beat me and broke my nose 4 or 5 times before I turned 8 years old. And he was a raging, alcoholic, abusive, nasty son of a bitch. Everybody says, well, you're just going to be just like your parents. Guess not. Ugh. Flat, sugar-free Coca-Cola is not. Ivanka Kushner has run from her father's politics. Okay. That's, some people do that. Milk. No, it's not milk, man. It's just Coke Zero, but it's flat and warm. Ugh. Yeah, that was not well thought out. I didn't bring a frosty beverage with me. K.I. Oh, Kale Smith. Is that like hi? But because your name's Kale, it's Kai? No, that doesn't make sense. All right, so now things have slowed down a bit. I like the clear Coca-Cola. I think that's code. There, Graybeard. Uh-oh, somebody got censored. Kushner received hundreds of millions from UAE. Yep, right. But no pause. Yeah, but we know that. That's the point. We know what he got, and we know what he did, and he did it publicly, and CNN talked about it every single day. What did Hunter Biden do? We don't know what he did. He worked for Burisma. Okay, largest natural gas company in Ukraine. What did he do? Okay. He obviously went to China, made millions of dollars in China. What did he do? Okay, wait, what? You don't know? Or you don't want to say? Well, we just don't know. Well, how can you not know? He wants to go down in history as a man. Yes, I do believe that he is thinking about his legacy. Let's see. They are setting Barron up for bigger and better things. That kid is a genius. It really does seem like that. I like Pepsi better. Yes, actually I do. But I like Pepsi with sugar in it. So I'm not drinking sugar. No, I'm staying away from sugar. Let's see. They hid the laptop. Oh, yes, they did. Yes, they did, didn't they? Let's see. What do you think Trump nominating Charles Kushner for cabinet? I think it's a terrible idea. Absolutely terrible. I mean, come on. The he's just not clean. And, I get it. He's not clean, and neither's France right now. So send him over there to deal with, De Gaulle Jr. with that idiot that's in charge, the pretty boy who literally nobody wants in France anymore. But still, where was the station in the Marine Corps? Pendleton for about half of it. And then I was at Camp Hansen. Where was I in Korea? What the hell was the name? We just called it Mud City. For some reason, that stuck. We were way up by the DMZ, and it was cold as shit. We got there in January. What a great time to be up near the DMZ, let me tell you. That was the coldest I've ever been in my life, actually. Standing fire watch. Standing fire watch in a camp that is completely mud. We had to put down 1x12s to walk on. And you're looking around, you're like, it's so fucking cold. You couldn't light a fire here. Like, you could pour gas on the ground and throw a match on it and probably wouldn't burn because it's too fucking cold here. And here I am standing out here. I don't have gloves on. I've just got a shitty field jacket and nothing covering my ears because my cover is, it's basically like a kind of a baseball cap. I was freezing my ass off. So there, and then in the Philippines, I was at Subic. And then did we go anywhere else? I don't remember the other place we were at in the Philippines, which is really odd because a buddy of mine showed me pictures of the other time we were in the Philippines, and I didn't remember being there at all, like zero memory of it whatsoever. He showed me sitting on one of the naval cannons that they had built in oh shit in Bataan, and I was like, Bataan? When were we in Bataan? And he goes, dude, you're the one who told us what these cannons were. You knew all about them. And I was like, I wasn't in Bataan. And he goes, yeah, the second time we went. I was like, I only went to the Philippines once. He goes, no, dude, after swim school, you were a combat swimmer. You went back and then you did something. We didn't see you for a while. And then you came back and then you know, we didn't ask you, didn't tell us what you were doing. You were assigned to somebody else. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I swear to God, I don't remember a single minute of it, which is really odd because when you've got a memory that's really good and somebody tells you about, a couple months of your life where you did something, I don't, and I remember being with a SEAL team in the jungle, and they were giving me a Dragon, a wire guided missile to fire, and I sat down and fired it, and it misfired, and they all disappeared literally in a huge flat area. They all disappeared, and I looked back. I was sitting down. I looked back and they were all gone. And I thought, am I hallucinating? Did they just disappear? No, they didn't disappear. They had literally found the lowest depressions and dropped straight into them. And they were laying so flat I couldn't see them because they knew that when you have a wire guided missile and the wire either gets tangled or just breaks because it's got a defect, whatever the last command was, that's where it goes. So if the last command was up, it just keeps going up unless it keeps going up and over, and then it comes back at you, which I was sort of aware of, but I didn't think it would ever happen. So they just disappeared. Now I do remember that, but that's it. And of course, my conspiratorial buddies are like, "Oh, I know exactly what happened to you, man. You were yes. I was in weapons platoon." And my buddies were like, "Oh, we know exactly what happened to you, man." And it's like, well, what happened to me? And they were like, "Oh, you got that special sauce that they injected us with." And I was like, "What?" Of course, I do have terminal cancer for the last 40 years now, and it hasn't killed me. So apparently, it's not terminal for me, but it's supposed to. You're supposed to last between 2 and 3 years once you're diagnosed, according to the Mayo Clinic. I was in 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. Outstanding. 5th Marines is the best, baby. I was in 2-5, Gulf 2-5, 0331. Woo! Well, you guys get shot at a lot. You know that, right? See, doing anti-tank assault and demolitions as an 0351, I was feeling pretty good until I did something stupid and I volunteered for swim school. Nice. Yeah, by the way, for those of you who don't know, 0311 is what we call a walk-a-lot. That's a ground pounder. That's a guy who gets handed an M4 and they tell you, okay, you go out there and let people shoot at you. And then wherever they're shooting from, these guys back here that have these mortars, these 0341s, they're going to try and bracket these mortars in on those guys that are trying to kill you. But you got to go out there first. And of course, 0331s, which are gunners, machine gunners, which I didn't know this, but they used to call them roosters in Vietnam. Well, it was after my time, way after my time. So I didn't know this, but it's one of the first things the enemy tries to get rid of because machine gunners are dangerous bastards. 11B. No, wait, that's Army. Weapons platoon 0351 rockets. See, when I got there, it was combat deadline. They said, no. Unless we actually have to light somebody up, you don't get dragons or tows or anything fun, stingers. And I was like, well, I'm anti-tank assault and demolitions. What do I get? And they said, well, you get a satchel charge and you get an M203 grenade launcher underneath your 16, and several bandoliers of that. Oh, like it doesn't weigh much. And then on top of that, I got as many law rockets as I could carry, which usually, if I was really kitted out, it'd be like 5 of them, because you can never have too many law rockets on you. Throw that satchel. No, I cooked with it. By the way, just so you know, don't cook with satchel charges. But for those of you who do know the secret, you take a little piece of C4 and you bust it off of one of the corners. They probably won't notice if you put it back upside down in the satchel charge, and then you put it on the ground, and it actually works to heat your MREs, your meals, ready to eat, much better. It burns very hot, but if you step on it, it will literally turn you into powder. So C4 burns really hot, but it doesn't explode unless it's compressed. That's why if you shoot the satchel charge, you're screwed. National News Desk on TV. Squad all-purpose weapon. Oh, no, that's right. Squad automatic weapon. I keep saying all-purpose, but it's automatic. That's awesome. Yep. Okay, so Kate doesn't want us to talk about war stories because clearly Kate's a girly girl and she doesn't like our war stories. Although they're technically not war stories. They're just crayon-eating Marine stories. Except for that guy who said 11B. 11B, that's I'm pretty sure, help me out here. That's Army, right? Is 11B infantry in the Army? I don't know. These guys have a total different language than we do. It's why we should never have to. Yeah, 11B is Army infantry. That's what I thought. That's why we shouldn't have to go into battle with those fuckers, because we have no idea what they're talking about half the time. You've been a civilian too long. That's why you get the nomenclature wrong. I don't know. What have I gotten wrong? Oh, just the squad all-purpose weapon? No, I saw the first time I saw it, I thought all-purpose, and that was it. I was screwed. 11 Bravo. Okay. Once a Marine, always a Marine. That's a fact. That is true. Oh, it wasn't Kate Smith. It was Kale Smith. Oh, shit. I thought it was Kate. That's reading glasses. Which, by the way, don't work unless I get really close. Squad automatic weapon. M279. I would love to have one of those. Rangers lead the way, fuckers. Arrogant fuckers. But you know what? I get it. Hey, Rangers are really well trained up guys. They really are. I mean, when it comes to the average, Army, whatever you want to call those fuckers, yeah. But when it comes to Rangers, those guys really do want to be professional soldiers, and they are. Please don't stop talking exactly how you feel. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can seen where you lose 2 months. I can seen where you lose 2 months. I don't think that. I don't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Who are Rangers? Isn't that a truck? Well, it's a Ford fucking Ranger too. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. Belt fed or magazine, adjustable rate of fire. Oh, the 279. Yes. What do I think about Matt Gaetz today? I didn't see what he did today, but I've heard he's a complete asshole. I love him anyway. And if you've been in the Marine Corps, you understand why I could feel that way. Because some of the best Marines are complete assholes, and you don't care. Good at your job. That's what I care about. You got my 6. I'm good. And can I depend on you to be there? Are you gungy? Are you insane? Are you one of those guys who, when you get bored, you fucking break a chem light and strain it through a sock and drink it, and then run out 100 meters to pee to see, just to see how bright it is? Because that's nuts. Like, these are the crayon eaters that you have to love. I can see where you drank too much. Yep. Oh, that's true. Yes, God did bless us. He did bless the Marines. Easy conclusion. Not so smart guy. Yeah, well, you're not the first one to, accuse me of not being too fucking bright. My son is a Marine. Thank you. Let's see. PT run. Oh, God, I had to do a PT run once. I have no idea why. I just know that I got off of all-night mess duty, and somebody had a hard-on for me, and they said, you got to do PT, and it's a PFT. And I was like, PFT? I'm dressed in my mess stuff. I got dress shoes on. They said, well, isn't that tough? I was like, all right, motherfucker, you want me to do 3 mile run in my fucking dress shoes in this, wearing all white? I got you. And I was so, such an asshole that I did it. Wait, 3 miles in 17:45. Jesus Christ. Where's the fire, bro? I think I did it in 20. I think I did mine in 22 minutes in dress shoes. I know it was better than that in boot camp, but my run was not exactly great. I did 116 sit-ups. That was awesome. 116 sit-ups in 2 minutes is pretty good. Do you dress up as Santa for Christmas? I might this year. It depends. Will you sit on my lap if I do, Liz? Let's see. 16:48. What? 2 miles in 13 minutes. See, now that's impressive, but I get that because it's only 2 miles. You just balls out, man. Secret Service took a bribe to look the other way. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me. 16:48. My God. That's close to the Marine Corps record, I'm pretty sure, because I remember that there was, oh no, shit, that's right. It was like 14. It was like 14 or 15 minutes. Some Indian kid, like American Indian, Native American, skinny little fucker. He broke the Marine Corps record for the run, for the PFT run, in boot camp. And it was, like nobody could believe it. Nobody could believe it when he came across the line. Butler, Pennsylvania. Oh, well, let's hope that's not true, because that would be a big deal. 16:10 best 3 mile, 4:35 best mile. 16:10. Okay, so he was probably near 16, but it wasn't 16:10. Maybe it was like I thought it was 14 something, but maybe it was 16:40. I don't remember. It wasn't my fucking run. My run wasn't that great. 1 mile, 4:48. Jesus. Wait. Oh, okay. I was going to say, wait. No, somebody broke the 4-minute mile. You're talking about you. That's fast. And not affiliated whatsoever. And do not give a fuck. Yeah. As far as PFT times, I don't even remember most of mine. You just do it because you got to do it. Let's see. 1 mile, 4 minutes. Damn. Oh, look at this. You got a heathen got censored. West Virginia heathen. Is it me, or are you losing your girlish figure? No, I'm just growing lots of hair on my face. But I'm still 295. Still 295, which is, it's better than 330. I've lost 35 pounds, but shit, I'm still waiting for that other 35 pounds to go the fuck away. I think I've got a solution though. I'm going to blow up a raft and have some people drop me off about 200 miles off the coast of California. And that's it. 1 mile, 1 minute in my F-150. Yeah. On my 56 Ford will do about a mile a minute with my pedal flat on the floor. You got to be cheating. No comment. I have no comment at this time. Let's see. 72 years old and couldn't walk 2 miles right now. Oh, yes, you could. Yes, you could. Let's see. Have you been to Columbia? To the Columbia, South Carolina? Yeah. As a matter of fact, I met old Graybeard there, not too far from there. But let's see, 88, and I can barely make it to the mailbox and back. You know what I'm going to tell you guys? Testosterone and growth hormone. Fuck it. Doesn't matter. Does it matter? Oh, well, it could give me cancer someday. Okay. At my age, that's a concern. Like I'm young. If I took shit that could accidentally give me cancer in 10 years, that's not, that's a big deal. But you guys have no excuse not to go to your doctor and say, hey, I may only live another 10 or 15 years, but God damn it, I want to do it feeling good. Give me testosterone and growth hormone. And tell my insurance company that it's medically important, which it's probably not, but whatever. That's what I think. Good night, Jock. It's always good having you on here, buddy. Okay, maybe Navy and kind of AF. Teflon keeps you spry. Fuck. Fucking West Virginia heathen. I don't know how the fuck he's made it this far. He literally does. I know where he lives, and he does live very close to the DuPont factory. Air Force. The Chair Force is a great way of life, baby. Hollywood Marine. Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, when they found out that I was born and raised in Hollywood, when I got to boot camp, holy shit. Nice live. Take care, everyone. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. Eve. It's not Yves, it's Eve. I know that because I speak French. Okay, that's not true. But I do know a few words, like 3 or 4 words. Uh-oh, am I getting censored? No, they're testing me to see if I'm live, if I'm just on here doing nothing, or if I'm actually a live person. Look at that. Okay. Yes, I am corn-fed. Bad words. I don't say bad words. The fuck are you talking about, man? I ordered up the food. What? Eve, they ordered up the food. Mavis ordered the food. I mean, are you guys hanging out? You going over to his house? Give him a hug for me. You gonna pay me a visit for the next trip east? Hell yes, I am. Bad words in front. Oh yes. Let's see. Was the corn GMO? Clearly at 6'7" and 295 pounds, something went dramatically wrong. I can't even see normal from where I'm at. News won't say nothing about California shooting at the school. Weird. I didn't even know there was one. So there you go. Obviously, what you said is totally correct. They're not saying anything about it because I didn't hear about it yet. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on in the world of finance. By the way, I did interview AI, and just so you guys are aware, I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow night about that, and I'm going to be on YouTube. And it's just trust me when I say you guys know how my personality is, and you know that I ask some really crazy off the wall shit, right? Well, what Gemini said to me was equally as completely fucking batshit crazy. I did hear about the 7.0 earthquake, and I've lived through a lot of earthquakes growing up in LA, and 7 is not a joke. 7 that's a serious rumbler, man. That's a big earthquake. Let's see. U.S. Russia need to cooperate for the sake of the universe. I totally agree, Tucker. Trump needs to make an example of General Milley, a guy who's never been in combat in his life, never fired a shot in anger, and his chest is completely and utterly covered with ribbons that mean nothing. I think one of them is for most completely and totally clean butthole after he went poo-poo. I think you get a medal for that these days. Seventh-day Adventist school. That's too bad. Seventh-day Adventists, they're a little nutty, but no, it'll never replace gold, but it's comparable to gold unless the grid goes down. You know, if the shit hits the fan, if somebody launches a nuke into the atmosphere and lights it off, and we get a grid down situation, there is no such thing as crypto anymore because there's no internet. But until that happens, crypto is fantastic. I love it. I love it just as much as gold and silver because it's anonymous, or theoretically anonymous. Let's hope it's anonymous. Let's see. Israel preparing for possibility of Syrian state collapse. Oh boy. DEI is deflating. Thank you, Jesus. Let's see. Visualizing what Americans eat. I don't even want to look at that. I do not want to look at that. $9,000 a year on $9,900 a year on food. Wow. Yeah, EMP does equal lights out. Now, an EMP can be lights out for an area, which is survivable. A coronal mass ejection or massive solar flare is lights out globally. That's a very different situation. That is a forever situation, or at least, a situation that means that we won't get back to this part of civilization, if you want to call it that, for probably hundreds, maybe thousands of years. You don't know what's going on outside of America. American media is so clear. Yeah, actually, I know quite a bit. Why? What are you referring to? Like, what's you got a little bug in your bee in your bonnet? What's up? Why would you say that? Let's see. Biden to distribute climate funds before he leaves office. Oh boy, that sucks. Let's see. Because you're. Oh, well, that's amazing. Somebody named Dream with Melody invites me to co-host, but I don't I think that's a guy. I don't know. So I don't know if that's like a bot or what. Okay, because you skip every question about it. Okay, well, ask me a question about it. I probably skipped it because I've had like hundreds and hundreds of comments tonight. I mean, it's been balls to the wall tonight. So yeah, throw me your question about other countries and let's see if I can come up with something for you. Let's see. Asian solar panel stockpiles face December 3rd deployment deadline. Okay, what? Where is it? Nope, haven't asked yet. Okay, you're typing. Looking at the world through a negative lens. Okay. Well, not yet. Europe is in deep shit, but everyone has already traded it. Wake up, contrarians. Okay. I like that. That's very interesting. Very interesting way of putting it. How big is America's middle class? Let's see. Wow, lots and lots of people are liking. Thank you very much, by the way, for all these likes. This really helps. Date, don't marry Brazilians. That's not very nice. What the hell's that about? Everyone wants to have a Brazilian wife or asset until they have one. That's just downright mean. Do you carry on contentious conversation? You do. Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't mind debating people. I mean, that's the thing. Maybe I'm wrong about something. It happened once. No, yeah, I think maybe I was wrong once. Just kidding. I'm wrong all the time, and that's the whole point. Let's see. Trump economic plan will lift all ships around the world. Nah, I don't think so. Nothing but love, corn fed. I've been here a while. Awesome. Brazilian women are pretty damn gorgeous. Yes, they are. Let's see. Indiana, outstanding. Let's see. Donald Trump's going after Harris, Biden, Cheney, plus more. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that because that just means that the odds of him getting pardoned are better. My pleasure. I enjoyed service. I enjoyed it. Worst fucking stupid decision I ever made. Best thing I ever did. I know you're thinking, well, how can it be one and the other? But you'd have to be in the Marine Corps to understand. Northern Indiana. Ooh, it's cold as shit right now there, I'll bet. Yeah, it's cold here too, though. I mean, look at this. I'm wearing this hoodie thing. It got down to, it was 70, I think it was 78 today. It sucked, man. I thought I was going to freeze to death out there in the middle of the afternoon. And then I took my shirt off. It was a lot easier then. I'm gloating. Can you feel the gloat? You can feel the gloat, can't you? I'm gloating. Don't ignore it. Well, fuck. Ask. I don't see your question, Kale. Wait, let me go back. Did you? Kale. Oh, because you skip every question about it. Oh, I said, look it up. Ask me again. Come on, man. 78 cold. I'm in Canada. Oh, it gets up to 78 there inside of a house sometimes. 24 here right now. Fuck that. See, I do like the cold, but not all the time, Ukraine firmly rejects U.S. calls to lower conscription age to 18. Yeah, think about that. You will not answer Kushner. Oh, Kushner questions. Well, I don't even know what the questions were. You asked me if I knew about his deals overseas. Yeah, I do. Do I think he should be doing that? No, I think it's stupid. I think it's a really stupid thing and it detracts from his father-in-law's credibility. I'm in San Diego, blue skies 75. Yep, that's how it is here now. Yeah, I think that Jared Kushner should shut the fuck up and step aside and not make a fool of himself by doing stuff like that. Talking about beachfront property in Gaza, that makes you look really bad. Now, I don't know, maybe he is really bad. Maybe he's a horrible human being. I don't know. 17. Well, Heathen's up above you. Heathen's up in the eastern corner of West Virginia. You're down in North Carolina. It should be warmer there, right? Like the closer you go to hell. Atlanta. I was in Atlanta. Man, what happened, Atlanta? Pull your head out. Oh, no problem, man. I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Look, Jared Kushner's a circus sideshow as far as I'm concerned. I don't like the guy at all. Skynet, Palmer Luckey and Sam Altman combine forces for national security missions. That's got to be a fucking joke. Okay, I'm reading this one. If this is not a joke, I am not. Oh, that's right. You're in Virginia, and he's in West Virginia. See, he's west of you. That's why it's warmer. I just made that up. Anyone on Trump team you don't like? There were a few of them. I forget obviously the Kushner's dad, convicted of being a dirtbag, and now he's going to go to France and deal with them. So I'm not real happy about that. There was somebody else that was like a corporate sycophant up insider bullshit artist that he put in the administration. I didn't like either, but oh boy. Okay, so Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus, is positioning Anduril Industries, his Southern California startup defense firm, as a challenger to military industrial giants like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, and General Dynamics. Oh man, if this is not a joke, if he's partnering with Sam Altman, okay, I got to read this whole thing later because like Sam Altman worries me. Pics are there to be exposed. Yeah. Should you hang on to gold and silver and see what happens? Yes, absolutely. Because look, you can't get around what's already baked into the cake. You're not going to undo the ingredients, and we have massive inflation heading towards us. We are going into stagflation. Now, can Trump get us out of that by drilling like crazy, getting rid of stupid regulations that are only there to perpetuate bureaucracies? Yes. That doesn't happen overnight. That's going to be 2 to 3 years. So in the meantime, I want to buy the hoodie. Well, I'll tell you what. I might go into the hoodie business because these things are super comfortable, and I get them from a Mexican lady who does Mexican fry bread, and she gets them from Mexico, so they're legit. I actually speak Spanish now just because I'm wearing this. Quiero tomar más café, por favor, ahora mismo. I just said, can I get a cup of coffee, please? And hurry the fuck up. I know you probably shouldn't say that unless, of course, you want the coffee thrown on you instead of set in front of you. There's no fixing this. Oh, yes, there is. No, it's not hyperinflation yet. It's not good. Can you say a bad word in Spanish? No, I wouldn't say something like puta. It's bad. If Musk does clean up, he did with Twitter. Oh yeah, absolutely. He'll clean house. Puerto Rico has the best coffee and some of the best women. I mean, I'm just saying. It's true. Bit on. I think that was supposed to say spot on, and you got selectively spell checked. Oh, look at that. Somebody got censored. Marine. I'm keeping you away from my sisters. I should have known. Half the Marine Corps is Mexican. The other half is Puerto Rican. And then there's like 6 white guys. Oh, and those black guys from the south side of Chicago who had to leave town before they got, So that's about. I got to tell you, though, you get a hell of a sense that Hispanics, I'd say Mexican. I always say Mexicans, but Puerto Ricans are badass too. Something about Hispanics. I don't know what it is. If it's like the fucking spicy food their mamas eat when they're pregnant or whatever, but man, these guys they're good to go. They're ready to rock whenever you want to fist fight or shoot marbles or drink or find women or just whatever. It's like, all right, let's go. I love it. Um, Wildcat Girl. Boy, does that sound like fun. I married a Mexican woman in July. Woo! And you're still alive. You must be a wordsmith. Because let me tell you something. A buddy of mine married a Mexican woman, and her big, huge lesbian sister beat the shit out of him about a month later, and then they got divorced. He said something disrespectful. He spoke perfect Spanish too. You would think the guy would be smart enough to know, like, there are certain people you don't insult. He said something. He was drunk. He said something, and she just beat the shit out of him, threw him out the front window of their house in L.A. And that was it. Let's see. I got one from the west side of Chicago. Oh boy. So wait, does she have a Polish accent, but she's Puerto Rican? That'd be cool. Because it's mostly Polacks over there. Please, how to trust you to buy silver from? Seriously, it's easy. Ask people on here and go on my TikTok or on my YouTube. See the people who have purchased from me, all the videos I've done over the last several years, and there are no comments like, "Hey, I never got my silver, you son of a bitch," or "Hey, where's my money," or anything like that. And believe me, those would show up, and then of course my TikTok would get taken down for fraud, because if people complain, if you get 10 complaints, 20 complaints, they're going to take your TikTok down. And this TikTok goes back to 2020. So it's damn near 5 years old. He delivers, good guy. Hey Bob, what's happening, man? Bitcoin is a bad deal. I don't know, man. Bitcoin is pretty awesome as long as the power stays on. No problem, rich man. 410. Now that's either a shotgun or 410. That's East Coast, Upper East Coast. When I used to be a stockbroker, we dialed for dollars, called cold calls all over the damn place. So we had to know. Let's see. Well, West Virginia heathen. You think so? You're gonna vouch for me? Your fucking call sign is heathen. I don't know that helps me. It helps. All right. What is BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now it's BRICS Plus. And they're basically, they got tired of being bullied, and so they were planning on coming up with a currency. I would love to see how that goes now that Trump is in charge, because I don't think it's going to go the way they think it's going to go. And the reason I say that is because, as somebody who studies econ, I can tell you, like, when somebody like Canada says, "Hey, you better do what we say," and we go, "Wait a minute, so you account for 2% of our GDP and we account for 50% of your GDP. How about that?" And they go, "Well, we didn't mean, we weren't trying to bully you." Oh, that's handy. Or Mexico says, "Well, we're not going to help you with whatever you tell us to help you with." And it's like, really? How much of our country, of our GDP, is because of Mexico? 3%? Oh, how much of yours is because of the United States? 70%? Well, then go fuck yourself. We'll put tariffs on everything until you are literally a bankrupt country. Unless, of course, you stop letting people come through your country to our country. Or how about this? If China doesn't want to work with us, which they will, because they literally disappear off the map without us. We are their largest trading partner. Without the United States of America, China doesn't exist anymore. Period. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Look at the numbers. They're going into a massive recession, and their commercial real estate market is in complete and utter chaos right now. The corruption in that government is so completely overwhelming that there are 1,000 news stories, even on normal bullshit media, about the corruption over there. Without us, there will be a revolution, period. So you don't think that Xi Jinping knows that? Of course he knows that. Look, we should have been in charge of the world for the last 4 years. We advocated our role as world leader because we were more worried about who's got a penis and who goes into what bathroom and who looks good in a one piece, even though technically they shouldn't be wearing a one piece because they still have a, what. And it's like, this is what we've been fighting over for the last few years, while the entire world just falls apart around us. And it's like, okay, guess what? Grown-ups are back in the room now. It's time to stop fucking around, or you're gonna find out. Okay? And Russia, we don't want to fight you. You don't want to fight us. You've made that perfectly clear 1,000 times. Putin has said it. I watched him say it. We don't want to fight you either. You know what we would like to do? We'd like to make you rich. Why? Because rich people don't want to go to war. So we got resources you want. You got resources we want. Get some pretty hot chicks too. Maybe a little intermarriage wouldn't be bad for us. Hey, Ukraine, shut the fuck up. You started this. But if you shut up and you agree to the terms, then we'll make you rich too. Even though you started this war by ignoring Russia and killing Russians. They killed Russians for years before Russia went in there to try to stop them. And anybody who doesn't remember that, well, you probably shouldn't be on this channel. You should be watching, girls in bikinis dance around, because this ain't your cup of tea, baby. Oh, 27 new messages. Woo! Boy, unfortunately, China is so far advanced. USA, nope. We are still completely 110% in charge of the world, period. The world is tired of it. Well, guess what? Fuck them. That's what it boils down to. Now, what exactly does that mean? When I say fuck them, what that means is, no, Israel, you don't get to do this anymore. It's over. You're done. Because if you keep going, you're going to suck Turkey into this. So stop now. Okay? Stop. You killed literally thousands and thousands of innocent children. Okay? For every Israeli that died, you've probably killed 1,000 children. It's enough. Stop. Russia, let's work this out. Okay? That's what it means when I say fuck the rest of the world. Look, France, you guys are out of your fucking mind right now. England, I don't even recognize you anymore. Like, you are not the United Kingdom that I have grown up with. You're not the United Kingdom that I have watched. You're not the dry, humorous bastards who made fun of the United States for being a little crazy and a little too socialist sometimes. I don't know what happened over there. Well, I do know what happened over there, but if I say one word about it on TikTok, I'm off. They will kick me off of there. But let's just say that assimilation's not an option. Let's just say that there are certain groups of people who absolutely refuse to assimilate into a society that they look down upon, that they think is weak and should be completely destroyed. Now, personally, if I thought that my neighbor who was asking me if he should buy the house next door absolutely hated everything about me and my family, I would probably advise him that it might not be such a great idea to live next door to me, because you're probably going to hate me. But for some reason, the people in Europe have decided that, hey, let's take the one group of people who will absolutely not give an inch, not one single inch, when it comes to their philosophy and their religion, and let's let them come over here, and let's let them take our very advanced, very fruitful societies and take them back to the 15th century like they live in. Wait, what? Wait, I thought you were bringing them over here because they were fleeing their countries, which were horrible and unjust. Yeah, they're fleeing their countries. So then they come here, but then they want to make our countries like their countries. Yeah. What? Like, wait, well, why'd you come here then? Well, I came here because you're rich. Oh, okay. And then what? Well, I just want to take advantage of your kindness, because I don't understand kindness. I only see weakness. And the only thing that I understand is fear. Well, we don't want to threaten you. Oh, okay, then shut up and get out of the way. That's it. Yeah, I'm not talking about our border. No, our border will be closed. Our border will absolutely be closed. And then when people come here, it'll be because they are the best of us, not the worst of us. I am all for immigration. If people want to come here from India, from Pakistan, from China, from wherever they're from, you've got a master's degree and you want to come here and you want to study engineering, you want to go to work for one of our companies and help push the ball forward, great. You want to sneak across the border and you're a fighting age male from a country that absolutely can't stand us? No, go home. Cash Patel is a rock star. Yes, that's true. Come here the right way. That's all I'm asking. I'm saying, look, give us everybody. Like, it's okay. Exactly. Legal migration is not just okay. It's great. I love it. However, got to be careful. But the dollar is the only thing keeping the USA alive. Right. Well, the dollar and the fact that we can buy resources from everybody else in the world and keep their economies afloat with the dollar. Collapse the dollar, you collapse all of those economies. You see the problem here? Like, it sounds great. Oh, BRICS is just going to take over. But when you really look underneath the hood, you go, well, wait a minute. Until BRICS is completed, let's say 10 years down the road, and everything's worked out, who holds the gold, who does this, who does that, how, like, what are these people going to live on if they try to undermine the dollar? Well, shit, they live on dollars right now. So they have nothing to live on? No. That's the problem. You literally have to trade in dollars if you want to trade with the wealthiest nation on planet Earth by a factor of probably 4 or 5. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that the BRICS nations go, hey, look, man, we're going to destroy the dollar. Okay, well, then you've destroyed the dollar. You took down the United States. Good on you. Now what? Well, we're just going to trade with each other? Yeah, but here's the problem is you just lowered the amount of people buying products from you by 60, 70% instantly, because now the United States is exactly what you wanted. They're bankrupt. Oh, so nobody's buying your products anymore. Oh, so you're going down the shitter with us. We don't go alone. We're not going quietly into that good night. You're coming with us. Oh, okay. Well, we don't want to do that. Okay. Well, then how about this? How about we get some people with some sanity in there and we start doing trade the way we're supposed to? Mutually beneficial trade. We won't come in there with our CIA and all of our intelligence agencies and bully you and shit on you and steal from you and create coups and kill all of your civilians. And instead, we'll do trade with you. Who would say no to that? Who? Who among us would say no to that? High inflation in the past 4 years. You can, yeah, high inflation. Yeah, we've got that. And by the way, when they cut the prime, what happened? When the Fed cut rates went up. Well, wait a minute. Well, what's going on here? I thought it got easier to borrow money. Yeah, for banks, not for you. Mortgage rates still went up, but they cut it. Yeah, but mortgage rates still went up. But they cut the Fed cut rates. And your credit card still went up. Yeah, but they cut rates. Yeah, your car loan still went up. But why? Corporate greed. Get rid of it. Well, how do you do that? Well, that's a long conversation. Let's see. What does the bond market tell you, smart guy? Smart GT. The bond market, well, when you have a flat yield curve for as long as we have, it says recession. Now, I'm only saying that because out of the last 8 times we've had a flat yield curve since 1971, it's led to a recession. But maybe this time's different. Not. And by the way, the flat yield curve also tells me that the longer it stays flat, the worse the recession. And this one's been flat now for 3 years. Longest I've ever seen before that was 18 months. What does it tell you? Smart guy. Well, clearly the rates are high for a reason. Nobody wants them. Let's see. What does this say? 70s management, 22%. Yes, that was very high back then. The pipeline has never closed, been open for 14 years. The pipeline. The whole pipeline are we talking about? Somebody got canceled. Girl, as soon as Biden got in the office, everything is almost double. Well, here's the thing. Again, incorrect. Well, what are you fucking talking about? What's incorrect? You can't just say incorrect. That's just an idiotic, childish way of arguing. I'm not arguing with you. I'm debating. There's a difference. Arguing is, I'm going to win no matter what. And debating is, okay, that's a good point. However, I think that you're mistaken here. And then you actually cite why you think I'm wrong. And you did, right? Nope, you sure didn't. Let's see. What is this? The XL was stopped. It was only completed. Well, okay, but how? How's it wrong? How do you think that my analysis of the bond market is wrong since I study the bond market? And we have had a flat yield curve for years now, the longest that I've ever seen, going back to 1971. Tell me what part of what I just said is incorrect. God. Let's see. We're building a pipeline, and Biden stopped it. Yeah, I'm really not. I couldn't give two shits about the XL pipeline. And the reason I couldn't was because the last time I heard anything about the XL pipeline, it went from Canada straight down to the Gulf. No, 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 no. You're not going to build a pipeline that could destroy half of my country with oil and then take it down to the Gulf and put it on a ship and send it somewhere else. Fuck you. If I'm pumping oil through a pipeline, it's to this country for our use. Otherwise, take that shit somewhere else. You understand how dangerous pipelines are, right? I'm willing to take on that risk if it's for the benefit of my country. If you're going to run a pipeline straight down the center of my country and then you're going to run it out to the Gulf where it's going to fill up ships to take it to somebody else's country, fuck that. No, period. Not a chance. What are the 10 yields at from memory? Well, 2-year was 4.1 today, so I'm sure the 10-year probably a little higher than that, if I had to guess. And by the way, I asked you a question that you never answered. So I asked you about flat yield curves. What are you talking about? Definitely not going to benefit the United States. Then screw that. I don't want it. What do you think of green energy? I think it's a joke. 10-4, I agree. You got censored for saying that, by the way. Would you buy Bitcoin at 100,000? Yes, absolutely. And if it goes over 110, I feel like it might go to 400 real quick. Don't know shit. See, Kale, you're full of shit, dude. Come on. All you're doing is saying, well, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. You don't know. It's like, okay, well, I'm asking you a question. What do you know? Nothing. So see you later, dummy. Once Trump is in and Trudeau is out, we should be okay. No, it's true. I believe that. I buy that big time. Yeah, I think that Bitcoin really is the future. I just worry about how shitty our grid is. I wish our grid were stronger than it is because that does bother me. You know, I want the grid to get tightened up. I don't know that there's anything you can do about an X100 solar flare. I do know that we've had up to X1000 solar flares in the last couple thousand years. So I know that this is coming. It's just a matter of what do we do next? Like, what do we do after the fact? They cut our lumber and then sell it back to the U.S. overpriced. Yeah, no shit. See, that kind of stuff has to stop. I think more research needs to be done on the XL pipeline. Yeah, I mean, look, if you told me that it ran down to Texas or Oklahoma and that it ran to a refinery from the United States, I'd say, fucking, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Get some of that cheap Canadian oil. All right, we'll trade them for whiskey or something. I don't know, whatever they need up there. I mean, they got Mondo resources. Maybe if we could bottle sunshine, Jesus, that'd be great. Trump will cut nothing. Business as usual. Rack up another $1 trillion. Oh, well, I disagree. Vanguard and BlackRock own a lot of land. Yes, they do, but more farmland, not Canada. No, Gates owns 274,000 acres. Okay, 274,000 acres is a huge amount of land. We have 2.3 or 2.4 billion acres in the United States, just in the lower 58. He owns 274,000, and we have 2.4 billion. That's a lot. That's a big difference. Why do we need Canadian oil? Drill our own, right? Yeah, that'd be great too. I'd rather drill our own. You know what? Shale oil is expensive as fuck. I don't want their shale oil, but I also don't want their shale oil cruising through a metal tube across the middle of my heartland on its way to wherever, who knows where, Peru or whoever's getting it. The Reed family owns 600,000 acres in western United States. Woo! That's a lot. That is a lot, man. Let me see something. How many acres in USA total? Okay, that's what I thought. Total land 2.26. I said 2.3. It's 2.26. So if you round up a little, I got close. Oh, the next one down says 2.4. 2.4 billion acres. Okay, so that's 2.4 billion acres. So even 600,000, that's 500,000, right? A little over 500,000. 500,000? We got 2.4 billion? I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of land, man. That is a lot. And destroying the land, any story on, he'd have to be an idiot. Why would you do that? I mean, he doesn't own enough to affect farming whatsoever. He owns, what would that be? 1/1000th? 1/10,000th? Yeah, he's not gonna affect anything. Why is it that China can buy land in our country, but we can't buy land in their country? Politics. Politicians being crooked, lying sacks of crap. That's why. It owns 32% of foreign-owned farmlands here. All right, well, Canada's a little crazy now, but they'll get over it. China is buying land in Canada for years. You got censored for saying that, but yes, that's true. China has a massive influence in Canada now, which bothers me a lot, because if somebody's going to influence them, it should be their neighbors, because they got to share the continent with us, not China. Let's see. How many acres of farmland does China own in the United States? 383,000 acres. Well, that's not exactly a lot. Well, it's less than 1% of all the foreign-owned land anyway, so that's not exactly a worrying statistic to me. It is a shit ton. And by the way, Wildcat Girl, a shit ton is actually a measurement in Texas. It's a little bit more than a ton. You've got a lot, then a bunch, then a ton, and then a shitload. By the way, I think they also have a defense there called he needed shooting. So if you go to court and they say, "Why'd you shoot that guy?" You go, "God damn it, judge, he needed shooting." And they go, "Oh, well, in that case dismissed." How many capped wellheads in the Gulf? I'm not sure that there's a statistic for that. There might not be, because a lot of those are privately owned exploration companies. Canada owns over 14 million acres. Is that a shit ton in Texas? Well, let's see. We've got 2.4 billion acres of farmland. So if Canada owns that much, then they own obviously a hell of a lot more than China does. They only own 383,000 acres. But yeah, I mean, that's quite a bit, which is odd, because why the hell do they need farmland? They got tons of fertile land up there, but whatever. I wonder if it's actually being farmed. I would hope. Do you believe that oil is fossil fuel? No, I actually think it might actually be a type of mineral. I think that it might be a type of mineral. Who in Canada, the government or a person? No, I'm sure that's the Canadian government. Can't be one person. They are cutting our trees. Yeah, and that's a problem, because they think that, oh, well, we cut down this big tree, but then we put up this little tree and it'll grow to a big tree. Problem is that the rot that happens in several different kinds of pine trees and spruce, that rot forms a bacteria. That bacteria is then swallowed by bees, who drink the water and eat the rotting flesh of the tree, and that bacteria actually kills the mites that infect them with the virus that fucks up their colonies. So by simply having rotting old trees around that bees can drink rainwater out of, that gets rid of all of the bee population collapse that's happening around the country and around the world. It's because of logging that it's happening. So probably didn't know that, huh? That's some nerd shit right there, baby. You call me Poindexter from now on. Let's see. Yeah, somehow you actually made it. It's true. Did the federal government end the conservation resource program? I don't know. I've never heard of it, but it sounds disastrous. From an Orwellian doublespeak point of view, that sounds fucking horrible, man. The resource, it's like, well, what is the conservation resource project? Well, it's where we send a bunch of meth addicts with propane bottles and Bic lighters out into the forest. See? Yeah, that's it. Oh, $28 billion for that, huh? Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of shit they do nowadays. Let's see. Bill Gates is not only buying land, you heard he's destroying the land. Yeah, but I don't understand why. Why would you do that? In Canada to influence them, what Canada owns in the United States. That's a stretch, though, man. That's a stretch. I hate to say it, but the Chinese are not that clever. They're more of a, in your face, push you, and if you push back, then, they'll negotiate. But they don't play long chess like that. Not with other countries. Although I did see, I saw a documentary about the Chinese in Africa, and wow, holy smoke, it was brutal. It was about this one Chinese businessman I think he's an engineer. He's trying to get this project done in Africa, and God, he just eviscerated African culture. And he said, sort of straight up, point blank, I feel very, very sorry for these people, but I also hate them. And it's like, what did you just say? And his point was that these are literally the stupidest human beings on planet Earth. He said that. And I was like, whoa. The crazy part was I looked in the comments underneath expecting there to just be massive, massive outrage. And it was a lot of blacks and African Americans that were like, yep, knew this was coming because nobody wants to say it, but the culture over there is broken. It's like, damn, all right, well, I guess then that documentary is a win because somebody's got to tell the truth. I mean, basically, they say TIA, this is Africa, it's a different way of doing business, different time management or no time management whatsoever. Nobody has a single concept of saving money. It's just all party, party, party. Everybody's broke day after payday, that kind of thing. And he said, look, this society is completely and utterly unredeemable. And I was like, whoa, if that's the way the Chinese feel about Africa, they sure are spending a lot of money there. They must not have much faith in Africa's ability to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, because they're thinking, I could tell they're thinking, well, we'll just take over. We won't use armies like those stupid Europeans did. We'll just come in and take over economically, which is exactly what they're doing. But one of the things he talked about the fact that if you go to any part of like Ghana, just for instance, if you go to Ghana and there's a guy from Ghana, a black man who's got a shop, and people go to his shop and they buy products. If a guy from India starts a shop next door, Indians will go only to him. If a guy from China starts a shop, the Chinese will only shop with him. And then the black people from Ghana will start shopping there as well. And the African guy will go out of business in literally a month or two because nobody shops with him anymore. And his point was, if you have no loyalty to your own people, how will you ever survive in this world? How can you ever hope to gain economically if you don't at least try to stick together? And I thought, wow, That's a good lesson for the United States of America because we have completely forgotten that here. We're like, oh, we'll buy anything from anywhere as long as it's cheap, or unless you're wealthy and you're very materialistic, and then you're like, well, I'll only buy X from here because it's obviously the best. It's like, is it really the best, or is it just the most expensive, and therefore the name recognition gets you that warm, fuzzy feeling of I'm better than you? Why would he? Why would he? What? I'm not sure. I got the first part of that, or maybe I said something 5 minutes ago, and I just don't know what you're commenting on. I don't know. Or maybe I'm glitching. Oh, is that what's going on? Let's see. Unstable connection. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll bet it's become unstable. I talked about something. See? I talked about something that was a little bit dangerous, and boom. And boom. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Funny how that works. As soon as you start talking about something controversial, it starts to glitch. Well, anyway, all right. Well, I've been on here for a couple hours. Everything's good. You want to buy some silver from me? Silver will go up. It's just not going to go to 500 tomorrow. So if you don't, if you need a week or two or three, I don't see. I mean, obviously, the first time something major happens in terms of a conflict, it'll jump. It's lagging and repeating. Yep, that I figured. I figured as soon as I started talking about something dangerous, it's gone. So you guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, cutting out there, but I'll bet I'm not cutting out on my live stream on YouTube. No, I'm not. Ooh, 19 degrees. Jesus. Let's see. Last I heard, you were going to Missouri. Did you go? Did I go? I went through Missouri. Yeah, I went through Missouri. Did I go through Missouri? Or was that Texas? That shit all looks the same to me. I don't know. I didn't go through Dallas, though. That's a good damn question. Where I drive so much now, I'm not really sure. Let's see. Let's go to Google Maps, and I'll tell you exactly how. I don't remember seeing Dallas. Did I go through Dallas? Yes, I did. So I took the 10. So I didn't go through Missouri, did I? And let's zoom out. Zoom out a little more. All right. Show me some states here. There, Google. Austin, Houston. Oh, wow. It's way up here. Okay. Fort Worth. Where the fuck is Missouri? Oh, no. Whoa. That's way up there. No, I never ended up going through Missouri because I went out of Atlanta and then went down the 10 through Dallas and Fort Worth. That's right. I stayed somewhere near. Was it Fort Worth? I don't remember. It all becomes a blur. If you drive enough miles, you completely forget where you were day before yesterday. Well, maybe not, but a few weeks later, you don't remember. So, anyway, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it glitching. I want to know why I can pause a live video. Glitching. I want to know why I can pause a live video. I don't know. I didn't know that you could do that. No, you are good here. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah, what I was talking about before was with England. Just clearly, look at what's going on over there. It's completely and totally insane right now. I mean, it's they are saying the Islamists. So you're not allowed to say Muslims. Apparently, you can't just say, yeah, the Muslims that have moved over here from all the shithole countries are now trying to turn our country into a shithole country, like in France. They don't want to call it France anymore. That's not Muslim enough. Wait a minute. You're visitors. You're supposed to be moving here because you want a better life. And their attitude is, yeah, we're going to get a better life. We're going to convert Europe to the Muslim culture, and it won't turn out as badly as it did in the Middle East. Yeah, it will. Just as bad. So Maybe you ought to think about changing your culture. Maybe not beating women or honor killing your daughters because they were caught talking to somebody that was of the opposite sex who's not a close relative, or maybe they went outside without their head covered. It's hard to believe that people like that exist in like the real world, but it is absolutely true. Or maybe all the stuff about the dancing boys and how male rape of males is so overwhelmingly prevalent everywhere in the Middle East. It's like, come on, guys, what the like? No, if you're asking me to accept that as my new reality, no. And I don't think the Europeans are going to go for it either. And I think that might be the next real, like, the next real, tinderbox. The next flashpoint for the world is going to be European Christians saying, "Okay, enough. You don't get to act like this anymore." Period. And of course, that is not going to go over well with the Muslim population, who says, "Hey, our our guy said that he is the final word, so we get to do whatever we want. And if you don't like it, well, theoretically, we're supposed to kill all of you because that's literally what it says in their holy book." Oh, okay. Let's see how that works out for Europe, but I don't think it's going to end well. That's a fact. Anyway, you guys have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow night.